Hey, welcome back to another vlog. Wait, that did nothing. Okay, I'm trying out this new angle and I'm not sure if it's gonna work or not. Can you even hear me? Okay, so I finally got my lavalier mic, which the last vlog, you saw what I had to resort to. Again, I'm kind of late to where I'm trying to go. That startup always sounds so good. Let's turn this down. Cooled seats in this car, like pretty loud. There's like a good little fan in there. Okay, let's not get demonetized. Slim Thug. Today where are we going? Today, my cousin's in town, and we are going to his bowl game. He's playing in the Shrine Bowl. He plays defensive back. Or he played for Nebraska. He just graduated, and he's kind of working on this. What? I can't connect the camera? All right, fine. What I was trying to say was my cousin Omar Brown. He plays DB. He's been playing football since literally we were tiny, and he's pretty good at it. He's pretty dang good at football, and he has a real shot. So he happens to be in town right now. He was training and practicing and everything for pro day and for the draft and everything. So been trying to work on some video stuff with him, and today he has a bowl game that I'm going to, but it's a rush hour on Thursday in Dallas. I live in the city, and the bowl game's in Frisco, so this is going to be a drive. But while I'm going to the drive, I'm going to actually tell you the story about the F and why you should be careful when doing business with online car dealers, because you never know what can happen. This thing isn't going to be stable, and I don't have the screw I need to tighten it even more, so the camera might move. I'm still figuring this whole thing out, but I'm trying to get you guys some content, so bear with me. In the next vlog, I think I'll be fully dialed in. Let's go. Let's see what the fastest way there is. Everything's red. This is why I hate this city. It's just red. Everything is red. And it's actually maroon in a lot of places. And the tollway is even red. All like half the... This is going to look like a side street kind of day. It's going to take me a while to get there. I guess it's not... There's no way that's fast. Oh my goodness, there's an accident. There's 2 accidents. People in Dallas cannot drive. Did you know this is the worst city in the country for driving? I think it's the city with the highest insurance premiums because it's also the city with the most accidents. I'm gonna fall. Geez, where do I want to start? Why am I holding a mic that I've specifically got to not hold? Let's put this here. How's that? Hope my shirt doesn't move too much. Am I ranting again? All right. Let's get some sunlight out here. Maybe you can actually see me now. Oh, that's... Keep your chin up. Oh, man, this is going to be crazy. This lady just... The male lady just stared at me. This man's got a camera in his face and he's driving. You know what? There's a set of pliers in here because I got a nail in my tire like 2 days ago, and I was going to patch it. And so I grabbed... Where did I put that? That's much better. Okay. We are in business. Am I even recording? Am I recording? I think I'm recording. Okay. Right? Am I? Oh, I am recording. Okay. I'm recording. Why is that? The F. I'm gonna tell you about the story about the F. I've tried to record this video 4 times. Every time I try to do it, I end up getting sidetracked, or the vlog just ends up not happening, whatever. So I'll take this hour-long drive I have to do now to tell you my experience with Vroom, because it was not the prettiest thing, and it's part of the reason why the momentum I had with all the vlogs and the stuff coming kind of stopped. So this is the story with the F, or like half the story, because I have a whole other half of the story that's 10 times crazier. The first half of the story was my experience with Vroom. So this car, as blessed as I am, was a graduation gift for me, for my parents. I graduated with no student debt. My dad's like, no, you know what? We'll help you get another car. Obviously, you're a car guy, blah, blah, blah. So we need you to sell the G, make as much money as you can off the G, and then we'll use that and we'll put it towards getting something else. So this was a total I did not think I was like this. I threw it out there like, oh yeah, one day, you know what I mean? And I guess I got blessed with it. So super thankful, super grateful for that. I was able to sell the G for like 10 grand, I think. So I made a lot of good money on the G, which definitely helped. And actually, that I've seen that car for sale twice now since I sold it. So that's funny. I kind of want to buy it back. Comment below if I should buy it back and do something to it. Anyway, so what happened? So we were looking at a few different cars. One car I really, really wanted was a CLS 63 AMG. I'm an AMG guy. I grew up with Audis and BMW, or not BMWs, Audis and Mercedes. Like my dad, he had a CL 550, which is the S-Class coupe, the generation prior, and he also had an S550, a 2007 S550. And my mom had a CLK 320 when I was like really, really young. So like my uncle had an E55, I think, like, you know, so I just been around Mercedes, whatever. So I really like those, and I like AMGs, and I think the CLS is one of the best cars Mercedes has ever made. And you can get them for like 20 something thousand right now, or at least at the time you could. And I was looking at a CLS 550 because it still had the twin turbo V8 that you could tune it. We can get Rentec or DME and make like 700 pound-feet of torque. So I was like, I'm gonna get that. Probably wasn't gonna be the smartest idea, but hey, it was cheap and I wanted to do it. You could even get a 63 AMG with the more powerful motor for like 31,000. But anyway, so I've seen a couple of those. I found a couple. I actually flew to California to go test drive one. I found a pristine condition CL550. He was the second owner and he kept it in the garage. And it was already tuned by Rentec and only had like, I want to say it was less than 50,000 miles on it. It was super, super low. And he wanted like 20 something thousand for it. I was like, yeah, that was not. I test drove it and everything, but the logistics just weren't really going to work out. And so around that time is when the F got found. And my dad sent me a link to it. He's like, hey, what about this? I was like, are you sure? Like, I didn't think I was actually going to be able to get that. He's like, yeah, you know, we can make it happen. I was like, all right. I was like, but I haven't even test drive one. I've never even barely seen one of these in person. So he was like, go test drive one. This was strike one. In aviation, they have a 3-strike rule. If 3 bad things happen that day, just don't fly. And I see why. So this is strike one. I'm like, all right, Dad. Found a place by me that had one, and the place was closing in like an hour. So I left my house to go test drive it. And literally, as soon as I leave my house, I get pulled over and get a speeding ticket. I didn't even make it to the highway. I was merging onto the highway, and there was a hidden police officer, a motorcycle cop who hid his motorcycle under an underpass and was standing in the middle of the street and pulled me over as I was about to merge onto the highway off of like a frontage road. If you know how Texas frontage roads works, you know why that's so frustrating. So whatever, got the ticket. I don't have it anymore. I was able to get it off my record and everything. Did some defensive driving, whatever. So got that done. I was strike one. Test drove the car. I loved it. Blah blah blah. Had a couple things I had to fix on the G to get it ready to sell. Valve covers were leaking. A couple other things, whatever. So eventually, the time comes. My parents end up getting the car delivered to the house. So like, come home and pick it up. I'm like, all right. So I go to pick it up, and I guess strike two-ish, but not really, is when the car got delivered by Vroom. It was dropped off, timely manner, whatever, everything. Everything was done really easy. The car got there and there was like some damage to it. And my dad's very much a stickler about this kind of stuff. It was nothing like bad, but it was a little bit of a paint drip he saw or something. And he asked him about it because on the Carfax and everything, it had no accidents. It was clean and everything. So he was like, why has this obviously been repainted? There's something wrong with the car, whatever. So they came quick and they sorted that out. We got a little extra cash off the car and everything. So that worked fine. Come to find out after looking through the maintenance records, the first owner of it, I think he like hit his mailbox or something. So it wasn't like a big thing, but for whatever reason, something minor happened and he ended up getting the bumper repainted. So my dad actually did catch that, which is crazy. I didn't even find that out until I looked at the service history of the car when I actually owned it. So that was kind of like a second strike-ish. But the real second strike is on my way home. So I dropped the G35 off to get fixed. They fixed it in one day, and the day that they fixed it, I picked it up and drove straight back to Minnesota. And when I drove straight back to Minnesota, I made it all the way through every state, and it was a hot July day. I made it through every single state, and as soon as I got into Minnesota, my left driver tire exploded at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, I make it all the way to Minnesota and get about 80 miles out, and the whole fucking tire comes off the fucking wheel. So, yeah, this should be interesting. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm in the middle of nowhere, Minnesota. I'm in Albert Lee, if you know where that is. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours outside of the city. And so I'm just like, here we go again. You know what I mean? Like, because I had already, I don't know. I never talked about it, but I had been through two G35s before because my first one got totaled. I don't want to talk about that yet. We'll get there. It's a whole different story. But I'm just used to all these things kind of happening to me, and it was frustrating. So I'm sitting there, and I don't have my tools because someone stole my tools off my porch at my apartment, and so I didn't have my normal set to just change the tire. But if you know the trunk setup I had in the G, I had two 12-inch subs and an amp and a wood floor in the trunk, but I still kept my spare tire underneath that. So thankfully, I had a spare tire, but I ended up having to call like a tow truck to come help me change it because I had no tools. Even though I walked all the way to a gas station, it was some sketchy stuff at 1 o'clock in the morning. And shout out to Sam Dooling because I called my boy Sam, and he was gonna drive all the way to Albert Lee to come help me and pick me up in his truck if I couldn't figure it out. So shout out to him to make a 2-hour drive at 1 o'clock in the morning. But got that all sorted out. I had to drive all the way home on a donut at like 50 miles an hour because I didn't want that to explode. Otherwise, I would have been SOL. But so yeah, that's strike 2. Tire exploded on the way home. Strike 3, we finally get the car. You guys saw the delivery video and everything, and I drove it with my friends. We took the GT3 and the F out, went to some back roads in Wisconsin. Like, it was beautiful. Loved the car. And then there was a hiatus. I didn't post any more vlogs after that. So what really happened was, if you know anything about Carvana, Vroom, whatever, they've been in the news a lot, especially Carvana. They've been banned in a few states because people have been buying cars and they weren't able to actually get the car because Carvana was withholding the title and they couldn't register it, whatever was going on. So they paid the money and never got a title but got the car. So now they're just paying for a car that's sitting in their driveway. And that was kind of a joke and kind of a point of nervousness between like my parents and I about doing this kind of transaction. But we're like, it's not Carvana, we're going with Vroom. That's not gonna happen. And mark my words, I literally said that on the delivery vlog when I went out. I took the Vroom plate off. I said, oh, this not gonna happen. This isn't Carvana. I remember saying it to Finn.
I bought the car from Vroom. Actually went much better than it typically goes to Carvana, but this thing is hideous. I got to get this plate off of here. So,
And then, like, fast forward a little bit of time, our title never came. And I'm like, okay, we should have the title by now. And we never got it. You know, my mom was emailing them, calling them a lot, couldn't figure it out. We were trying to reach them, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll get it, whatever. The title never came. It took so long for the title to come, in fact, that my temporary tag expired on the car, and I can't renew it because of the way the car was registered with it. I think it might have had an Arizona temp tag on it, and so Arizona's a state you can't renew temp tags, and so I couldn't drive the car. And it got all the way to like us threatening to sue them. Turns out they have a class action lawsuit going on right now for that kind of thing. Like, there's a bunch going on because they were having titling issues. And it got down to the point where like I couldn't even drive the car. And they finally admitted, like, oh, they even offered to buy the car back for the purchase value. When they finally admitted they had fault, they said, we'll buy the car back at purchase value, or we understand we messed up, we're gonna sort it out now, but if you don't want to wait for us to sort it out, we'll take the car back and give you your money back. No, I love the car. It was red interior, performance package, like carbon everywhere. I loved it. I don't mind waiting a little bit longer, whatever. We got a pretty nice rental car out of the deal, and I was just gonna thug it out. Fast forward, it took 2.5 months for them to get the title sorted. I guess because they use a third-party titling agency, whoever was on duty that day swapped the info for this car and another car. So this car ended up getting registered to someone else in a different state. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to add one more thing about what happened. So when I said that, like, we found out the car was titled in a whole other state and to someone else, they didn't tell us that. My mom actually, we did the research ourselves and like did a VIN lookup because she kept hitting them up like, hey, yo, like where's our title, whatever. And they kept saying, oh, it's there. We would go to the DMV and the DMV would be like, we don't know what you're talking about. And then, so we went through a lot of that. Like, communication was super hard with them. Like, it seemed like they didn't even know what was going on for real. and like it just was all kinds of bad. And they would transfer us to like a different person, and like it was insane. But in that specific situation, like they didn't even know where the title was for real. We had to like look up the VIN or the VIN number of the car to see where it was registered, and it was registered to some lady in North Dakota. It was really weird, but learn a lesson on that one. And that's why, so they had to reverse that whole thing and then reissue it to us. So it took forever, and it was very frustrating. But long story short, I guess I can't say that after I just made a long story long. But that's pretty much why I didn't post for a very, very long time. It kind of threw everything off. But was able to get the car back and driving it, and everything was going good. And then something else happened. I think I'm gonna make that another video because that deserves a whole video within itself. But I figured I'd at least tell you this so that you would know when you are purchasing online or doing whatever you do, just keep that in the back of your mind that this is an issue that happens. Shout out to Vroom because they fixed it. They offered our money back, and they gave us like a 2022 Yukon Denali or something for a rental car. Like, so it worked itself out with a little bit of patience. But it was extremely frustrating to go through, I'm not gonna lie. And it was like pulling teeth to even, when we were asking them about the title early on, it was like pulling teeth. So it was definitely frustrating. I don't know if I would buy another car through Vroom again or Carvana. We really only did because of the nature of the car. These are really rare, especially at the time when I was buying it. There was only a handful that were for sale, and the ones that were for sale weren't this spec. And so, beggars can't be choosers, but it was just the right car. And we were like, we'll do it. And man, oh man, jumped through a lot of hoops with that. I feel like this is more of a podcasty kind of vlog, but sorry. Have I been talking for 10 minutes now? I think I have. But no, I'm definitely, like I said in the last video, I'm really trying to get back into the YouTube swing of things, and I want to do a lot more. I haven't seen my friends much in like a year almost because I've been working and I live out of state now. But this year, I think we're going to do a lot more stuff together. There'll be a lot more flying vlogs. There will be a lot more car stuff now, a lot more travel. I can't say a lot more travel stuff. I don't think I'm traveling too much this year because I need this channel to grow before I can afford traveling again. But there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. I'm almost a licensed pilot. Braden's already a licensed pilot. So that will probably be the kind of stuff that we do a lot of this year, in addition to the car stuff. Also, I'm going to try to do some more track days because we've been out of the loop for a while, but the boy Finn, dude, you guys don't know anything. There's been like a total of, I've driven 6 GT3 RSs now. Or maybe not driven because 1 or 2 of them I didn't get a chance to drive. But the guys as a whole, the whole group has been through so many cars in the past 5 years that it's kind of insane. A lot of track day, like Finn is addicted to track days now. And there's just a lot going on. So comment below what you want to see more of from me, some stuff I should branch out into. If you want to see more workout content, because I've been working out a lot more. If you want to see more flying content, if you want to see more driving content, I don't know. I can do POV drives in the RCF, I can do anything. So just let me know what you guys want to see. But comment below, like, share, subscribe. Please subscribe, please like. And the next video, I'll tell you what happened to the F, because this one has a sunroof. I can't erase